All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
That time I got reincarnated as a slime, Season 2, Episode 1.
Wow.
Oh boy, first try, that mouthful.
It's been years.
It has been years.
It's been 84 years.
It's been so long.
And yet the show has not only been out for a while with the second season, but it split its season into two parts. So the first part of it was out for a while. So
nice.
That was like my first hint that maybe we should return to that time I got reincarnated as a slime, you know.
Because they won't have the production issues, hopefully, that they
season
had
1.
in season 1. Yeah.
like if you go back to like our early season 1 reactions, we were really enjoying the show.
It was a lot of fun. And
it was a lot of fun.
And it is also one of the prime examples as for why, if you're ever wondering, we want to make absolutely certain that we wait for the entire season of a show to finish before we start reacting to it.
Because we don't have that quality guarantee.
Exactly.
We don't want a Promised Neverland season 2 situation. We don't want a Wonder Egg. Well,
yeah, Wonder Egg was fun.
Wonder Egg Priority was kind of fun.
but it, you know, it's kind of a miracle all on its own that anime ends up being made in the first place. So if something ends up happening that just kind of screws it up, that's bound to happen at some point, right?
Yeah, exactly. You roll the dice, you watch as much anime as we do, eventually it'll happen.
Exactly.
And hey, it's not too bad when it happens, but it's something where we're like, oh, we'd have rather spent time watching something else then.
Yep.
And yet, a lot of people have been saying, hey guys, season 2's finished.
Really good. Yep.
It was really good. It was just a step up than season 1.
Yep.
And not just on like the later parts of season 1, but
like
the whole
season 1
of season 1. Yeah.
And the parts of season 1 that were good were a lot of fun. Like the whole Civ builder thing that the show kind of goes for. That's something you don't really see in other shows. Like it kind of has a corner on the market there, I feel like.
It's maybe more of an isekai thing specifically, but like with a lot of the characters that were on the side, like Shizu or Shizue, I forgot how you say her name.
No, she's dead and gone. We aren't dealing with her.
But she was brought back in the little flashback episode.
That's true.
That was at the end of our season 1 watch.
That one was a very nice way to kind of like be like, okay, yes.
The stuff with the kids and all that was a bit quirky and not really well handled.
Right.
But yeah.
Here you go. Let's get some lore for you.
Yeah, and set up for some things that could bring about other characters that are either on the demon lord like side of things or are themselves actual like forms of demon lords or something like that.
But let's be real. We don't care about lore. We don't care about demon lords or any of that stuff. There is only one thing that matters in this show. And that is Gabiru. Say it with me. Gabiru. Gabiru. Gabiru.
Yeah, when we put the list of characters up there, we were like, yes, there's Veldor the Storm Dragon, the greatest being.
Indeed.
And then there's Gabiru. That's it. You know?
I feel like
obviously Rimuru gets his special place, in our notes and all that, with all his abilities and all that stuff. But then it's
welcome back, my old friend.
And I want to say, wasn't his voice actor like Kazuma from
I think it might have been.
Like, I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think that's
so.
right.
After all, he is God's blessing on this wonderful world.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. But it's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun to see us kind of catch up to speed with everything.
Because there's a lot of stuff that we're going to need to be caught back up
there's
on.
a lot of little things. It was like 3 years ago when we started season 1.
And 3 years, that's a lot of anime in between then and now.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see in ways in which maybe some other things of like our like tastes and opinions and thoughts have changed or evolved or been like, oh, like I like this stuff even more now, or oh, that thing I did like or didn't like before I've changed on. It's like, that could be interesting.
Because the channel itself is only like 6 years old or something, right? So it's like that's a long time.
Right. I'm trying to think if there's been any show that has had this kind of... Season 1 was a long time ago. We actually got a season 2, and we watched it.
Right. I feel like the closest would be like ReZero or something, but even then, season 1 we watched, but it wasn't
on the channel.
On the channel. So, yeah.
So I don't think there really is one. I think the closest one was the Devil is a Part-Timer, but apparently the second season was not good.
Which is damn
sad,
shame because it's like it actually gets like revived, brought back from the dead after so long.
To be like pushed back down by Luffy, you know, like go back. No.
It's too
So
bad.
yeah, y'all. Without further ado, let's get into this. All right, everyone. Now be sure to go check out the reaction portion of the video in the description below. Then come back here for the discussion. Okay. Yeah, so we're back. Season 2 is here. They gave us a lot of like reestablishing that, hey, all the characters are at play, still working with the kingdom, the Tempest Kingdom. Okay.
And they all have their different places that they
they
go. And,
they've always had their different places, but more that we're not really going to focus on everyone right now.
Exactly.
We're going to very, very just briefly remind everyone that this world exists, it works this way, and we're focused on diplomacy. So rather slow, not super engaging stuff right now. We're very much taking kind of the like, we're going to kind of relax the approach here, get to bring in another cast of characters that can then add something to the story before we go back into like Demon Lord stuff.
Exactly.
Okay.
But we'll throw a fight in there, you know, just to keep things spiced up.
Wake up.
Yeah, exactly. But this episode was a bit slower, but that makes sense because there was a lot of stuff established from the first season that just needs to be reset in our minds.
And if you're gonna have, you know, anime come out that are full 2 core seasons and stuff like that, there's gonna be big breaks in between the seasons. So
exactly. So having that first episode that's kind of like the clearing the pipes and everything for what comes next makes a lot of sense.
Sure. But yeah, that's basically it. The episode doesn't really give us too much more other than, okay, we're going to be getting to bring in this other cast of characters.
Yep, we got some new character designs.
They're beast folk.
And okay,
cool.
Yeah.
But the idea that they are affiliated underneath the Demon Lord Carrion, who was from season 1, I believe. That's interesting, I guess, because allying with Carrion feels like the kind of thing where they could be setting themselves up for potentially a situation in the future then.
Right, like there's plenty of ways in which conflict can come up, like engaging conflict can come up in a story about diplomacy. We just need to understand the sides very well so that way we can see the ways in which they will or won't get along. And so this fight is a great example of that to start with. That yes, this is a diplomatic thing, but the very first thing they do is pick fights.
Yeah, is racism. You know?
Okay,
just immediately.
And
fuck
this,
humans.
And this was the diplomat that was decided to be sent.
Yep.
That could be something where it's just like, okay, maybe the writing isn't going that in depth, or maybe it's something where this is part of a power play by the other nation. You know.
Maybe that's the whole thing that you always do with a delegation is you send one person who's reasonable and you send someone else there that can be we're reasonable. See, it's just her that's
right.
Not,
exactly. Don't take our reasonability for granted, you know, because we're
dangerous, we're powerful.
Exactly, all that stuff.
That could be it, but it's also just it's an excuse to have a fight.
There was a lot of exposition in this episode. It makes it's. I can imagine that there were a lot of fans that were very, very glad to have the designs with the fight with these new characters. You know, just keep things moving. But yeah,
it's a slime episode. It's the first episode of a new season. There's not really too much to get into here. I would say outside of maybe the new OP and ED because
those were fun.
I definitely got the whole JRPG kind of vibe a little bit more that now it's been like 3 years and I've played a couple JRPGs now actually.
That's true.
And I feel a little bit more of the fun and tropes of this. Like I didn't have Final Fantasy 14 under my belt 3 years ago.
Right.
So like I didn't have like like there are a couple games like Tales of Berseria and stuff like that. So like this is something where I am now feeling like, the reasons why the trappings of this world are done a certain way makes more sense. They're just taking all the things that would have been the villains' typical army cohorts and everything. And why do you judge that on appearances and stuff like that? No, we got a cute slime.
Right.
And
Exactly.
Yeah. It's being run really smoothly here. He just wants peace.
Mm-hmm.
And thus the conflict doesn't have to be about fights as for power plays and stuff. It eventually will be, most likely.
Totally.
But it can just be we're trying to do what we can to make a safe haven for monsters in a world where still monsters are typically not looked at with a lot of positivity and stuff.
Also, what the fuck was up with that mushroom? We didn't need that.
That was terrifying.
That was terrifying, but also like
the most engaging thing in the episode was just the fact that we were both like,
nah.
Yeah, Dark Souls mushroom?
Right, exactly. Run. Is it gonna one punch them all of a sudden? You know?
And they're just dead, you know?
This is when I thought so this was really silly. But when I was watching the episode and they were like, yes, a champion or whatever, adventurer, or something like that, I'm like, okay. In this world of monsters. And then we see a mushroom. I'm like, are we going to have a mushroom character? Like,
the mushroom champion.
Yeah, exactly. But no, the mushroom ended up being just like, monster that gets killed kind of a thing. Which, maybe. Now, granted, the guy, the Yom or whatever is a human. But will there ever come a point where then the monsters are like, wait a minute, we have monsters killing monsters. How do we feel about this? What does this mean? I don't know.
Bro, I think you're.
I'm just trying to stretch out this discussion as much as
don't
possible.
Don't do that. Don't do that. No, it's okay. This is the first episode. Really, really, I think the main thing is just us just getting reacquainted with the world and the characters, and being able to then be like, oh, cool, this is what Gobta's doing.
Right.
Got his name now.
That's right.
It's awesome.
We didn't have his name written down because I think we were thinking
we never forgot him.
Well, you never forget him, and how could you? It's a name like Gobta, like Gobta the Goblin.
More like Godta.
Godta, exactly. Him and Gabiru are basically the Usopp and Buggy combo of this show.
Whoa, you're right.
Yeah.
Because Gabiru is Buggy, and Gobta is Usopp.
Yeah.
Whoa, you're totally right.
Send them as your delegation, people. Like,
too weak.
They'll fix everything.
Weak. Yeah.
The other country is too weak.
True. But yeah, y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get an early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general, and also be sure to check out our Twitch channel.
We stream every weekday. The info's in the description.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all
next time.